Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at Ubuntu 11.04's Alpha 2. Alright, today, February 3rd, 2011, Canonical announced the release of this Alpha 2. There are several things that are new about it, but not a whole lot of things that are new. They've got a version of LibreOffice instead of OpenOffice now. They've got a newer version of the kernel, it's 2.6.38 Release Candidate 2, an updated version of the Xorg server, which is causing quite a bit of problems at this point, but hopefully won't be an issue by the time the release is out. And other than that, there's just quite a few bugs. There's a couple of things with regard to Unity that have changed. By default, though, let's go ahead and hit login, and you'll see what happens when I try it on a virtual machine. Now, I tried this on my laptop as well. Exactly the same thing happened. Because of this Xorg server version 1.10, we don't get any sort of 3D acceleration. I did attempt to install the VirtualBox drivers. I attempted to install the NVIDIA drivers on my laptop. No such luck with any of them because it is such a new version. I even attempted to use the NVIDIA beta drivers that are supposed to be working with Xorg Server 1.10, and they didn't want to install properly either. My guess would be, of course, everything still being in the alpha and beta stages depending on which component you're talking about. Anyway, moving right along, let's take a look at what we've got with this. So, out of the box, we do still have the GNOME 2.x interface. If we go to the About the panels, you see it's GNOME 2.32.1. However, by default, you'll see we've got this GNOME main menu instead of the traditional three-part menu that we would expect to see out of it. Now, this is a little bit more comfortable to me because this is actually the menu that I use on a day-to-day basis. And while we're in here, we'll go ahead and see what new applications we've got, just because it's we'll get to Unity in a bit. It's kind of difficult to actually use it. So, moving down here, we've got nothing really new in the accessories, the games, the graphics, LibreOffice there. Internet, we've got Firefox 4 Beta 10, so we are on the latest and greatest version of Firefox 4 that is available currently. Under Office, of course, the full LibreOffice suite of tools. Under Sound and Video, we've now converted to Banshee as the primary media player. It does, of course, still come with PTV as the video editor. And the Ubuntu Software Center has had some changes to it. Let's go ahead and open that up and we'll take a look at what has changed. Now, the main thing that has changed about the Software Center is that it's integrated the ability to do ratings and reviews. So if I were to click on one of these applications like SuperTuxKart, you'll see here we've got the traditional install interface, but if you go down here at the bottom, there's the ability to review it or to look at reviews if there are any. None for SuperTuxKart, but I do remember seeing some for GNOME Do, if I can find that. Alright, there we go, we found GNOME Do. You see it has 3 ratings and a 4.5 star rating. If we scroll down here to it, we see the 3 different reviews that have been done. If you log into Ubuntu One, you can actually flag them if there's something wrong with it. You can write your own review if you want to give your impressions of whatever the software is doing good or doing wrong. And in the very near future, they are working to integrate more Zeitgeist into it so it can help to sort of figure out what sort of software you might like based upon what you've got installed and what you've used in the past. And actually, it's kind of a good thing that we do see this. This does remind us that we are still on an alpha release. I saw quite a few of these application problems popping up on my laptop when I was using it earlier. Just so you know, I did wipe everything off the laptop and did attempt the installation. I probably lost 4 to 5 hours trying to get the graphics drivers working appropriately so I could test out Unity. Anyway, if you do try this out, do expect to see a lot of these application problems. Expect to see a lot of things still not quite working appropriately. Like I said, still an alpha version, still expect a lot of these problems. Now, while we're still in this 2D interface, while we're still in the traditional GNOME interface, the one last thing to really look at is the new sound menu information. You see this has the Banshee info on it. If you had playlists here, they would also show up. Just a slight change. Now let's take a look when we log out at the 2D version of Unity that I am able to get running in a virtual machine. When I go ahead and log in, here at the bottom, I can select Unity 2D. That is a one-line installation. When you're on 11.04, it's just sudo apt-get install Unity 2D default settings, if I remember correctly. I will have that code in the comment section below, in the source code below, if you'd like to take a look at that, the video description. But now that I've selected that and hit login, we should be greeted with the 2D Unity interface. And this should be somewhat similar to the one that is 3D that's currently the default that is not working in my case. But you'll see here on the left-hand side, we've still got these launchers as we would expect. They are still draggable, but you cannot rearrange them by clicking and dragging on one to move it. The right mouse button, which I'm still trying to figure out why they're doing this, the right mouse button doesn't really do much of anything anywhere except for on these little launchers where you can right click and say remove from launcher. And of course in the upper left hand corner we have that Ubuntu button. Instead of opening the Nautilus window now with a list of your apps, it does open the Unity dash at this point. However, it apparently is not working appropriately, because if I go into any of the categories like web, it opens the web browser. If I go into, say, music, for example, though, it goes into the music category, but it doesn't actually show me any apps. If I go into photos and videos or games or anything else like that, again, it could just be something wrong with the 2D version of Unity. The 3D version is supposedly working normally. I don't have an Intel card, so I can't really test it because the ATI and the NVIDIA drivers, like I said before, are not finished yet. But that's about all I should probably show you about this Ubuntu 11.04 Alpha 2. Do keep in mind, as I keep saying, this is an alpha. It is still very early. A lot of the stuff is not complete yet, and they are moving to an entirely new interface with an entirely new backend. It's Compiz plugin, basically. So nothing is quite complete yet, but they do still have a ways to go before the April release date. So let me know what you think about this version of Ubuntu in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.